Hello, everyone. It's very late. It's after midnight where I am, and I usually have a hard time sleeping, getting to sleep. Once I'm asleep, I'm okay, but getting to sleep usually seems to be a problem. But a lot of things have been spinning around in my head, as usual, as to the world and what's going on, especially in our country. And for those of you who are awake, it's very disheartening. Um, the FISA report or the dossier against Trump and all the mess in our government, and we have senators dropping like flies, representatives dropping like flies, whether it be, retirement or they're not going to seek re-election, etc. It's just a whole mass of confusion. But the things that seem factual, like the FISA report, which I did do a previous video on not too well, but even what seems to be factual can't even be reported on correctly. And the ones who report on it correctly, they're torn apart. This world is truly, truly upside down. What's good is evil, and what's evil is good. I just never thought I'd be sitting here seeing all this. And, if I were to express an opinion about anything, then I would be put into question and I would be looked at as something bad with all kind of labels that they fling at you. It's quite illogical. I mean, logic is out the window. Morals and values are out the window. I mean, they're gone. What's actually going on and the facts and the truth is not being brought to light. And if there's a little snidbit of truth, it's seen as irrelevant or twisted and turned around and manipulated. It's like the world is run by narcissists. It's quite unbelievable, but it's happening. I mean, chemtrails are real. The barium and strontium and other chemicals that are being rained down upon us are real. They've actually said it. But you will still have somebody standing there saying, oh, well, that's a chemtrail. That's normal. Or that's no big deal. Or why are you worried about something like that? That's no big deal. Fluoride in the water. Why are you even bringing that up? I mean, fluoride's good. I mean, the TV says so. I mean, you can look up and see that it's poison, but no, that's not true. That's not what the TV says. It's just unbelievable that people are coming to the realization that what we've been told is not the truth. Not all of it, but a lot of it. I mean, I watched 2 buildings fall. At least I saw the second one get hit. And then I saw them both fall. And I was listening to the narrative on TV, and it was like I was drugged back in 2001. when I'm watching buildings fall on their footprint, hit by two planes that didn't even slice them completely in half, which only the top built part of the building would teeter. And I just bought it hook, line, and sinker. But here I am, years later, and with all the other mess that has happened in this world, we still, just one after another that makes no sense whatsoever. And it's totally illogical and it's lies. People will just stand up for it and look at you like you are absolutely nuts, when it defies reason, completely defies it. The world being run by Satan. Can't you see? Can't you feel it? Don't you know it down in your gut? That things are flipped around, upside down, inside out? I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I get so just incensed over how nobody sees anything, not even one thing, nothing. They just go along their merry way and don't notice anything at all. I can't say that the GOP train derailment or crash, it wasn't a complete derailment. Only a couple of the wheels, 2 or 3 of the wheels of the engine came off the track. It could have been a lot worse if they hadn't slowed down. The day after the, speech by President Trump is just not a coincidence. There's just been too many coincidences over the years. We made it through the Super Bowl without any incident that I'm aware of. A lot of the country is, boycotting it because they're patriots and don't agree with how men who get paid multi-millions of dollars, money we'll never see in our lifetime, have the nerve to say that somehow they're a part of being treated unfairly. It's just absurd. Absolutely absurd. Instead of encouraging prosperity and helping those who need maybe a push in the right direction, they just want to stand on the fact that it's all bad, and it's all bad because of the color of my skin, or it's all bad because of, the neighborhood I came from, or whatever. Where did this sense of responsibility come from? It came from hard work and perseverance and owning your actions, taking the hard knocks and getting back up. Unfortunately, life isn't fair. Why is it not fair? Because a lot of the people in this world don't have any morals and values. at all. It's a me society. How much can I obtain? How do I look? It's crazy, and raising children in this world is very hard. Very hard. You want them to fit into society, but what kind of society are they fitting into? It's scary. It's very scary. And I've always felt different, and I've always tried to fit into society, even into my family. You know, I was considered the rebel, or the one who went a different way, or, you know, she's so smart, but she's so dumb. Really? Why? Because I think differently. I look at things differently. I question things. I try to stand on a basis of morality. Now, my morality is grounded in exploration of all different faiths and coming back to what makes the most sense. And if there is no more proof that you need that God exists, then you should look at the Satanists, because they believe in the Bible. They believe in it wholeheartedly. They just take the other side. And they are well in control. And I believe that the sex trafficking is going on. Of course it's going on. You can see people getting arrested, but that's just a little dent in a huge, massive ship of deception. And if that's going on, is it such a far cry to think that pedophilia is rampant? Look at places, things like NAMBLA, for God's sakes. Look at your computer and see what's going on. I mean, my God. Bestiality, robots, people having sex with robots and incorporating them into their family around their children. Really? The list just goes on and on and on and on. It's so hard now to trust anyone. Hell, I just had somebody read an article to me about a minister in Houston who denied this 90-something-year-old woman her last wish to have her service within the church because why? She had been a member for 50 years, but she hadn't been showing up so much in the last 10, so she hadn't put forth enough tidings to deserve that. Excuse me? Did you go and check on her in the last 10 years? I mean, they said she was in a coma before she died. Maybe she couldn't get there. Maybe she couldn't afford the tidings. I mean, it's just despicable. I'm not saying that all churches are horrible, but with the way the world is and the fallacies that are going on, it's not such a far stretch to think that if human beings are running it, there's probably a problem. Hell, in the school system, the things that I saw were just deplorable. And it was seen as jokes or funny or entertaining, or teachers having affairs, teachers getting caught with students, junior high and high school. And I mean, that's just what you find out about. Lord knows what's going on. Totally. But nobody wants to really stand up and talk about it. Oh, it's not that bad. You're just a pessimist. You're just, influenced by the things that you see or listen to on YouTube or whatever. No, I see it with my own eyes. I've lived 47 years. I see it. I've lived it. I've seen good. I've seen good. And it's usually the people who have been to hell and back who are the great people. But yet those people are judged for having done something wrong, or, experiencing some horrible thing, they must have deserved it or whatever. It's those people who get pushed down and get back up again time and time again. Those are the people that should be respected. Those are the people that have something to say. Those are the people who could be leaders. But yet, they're chastised. They're minimized. They're made fun of. They're judged. They never make it in politics because they dig up all the dirt on them and use it against them, instead of looking at what they've experienced and come through and how they've improved themselves and come to the realization of what's really important in life. What good is, because they've seen a lot of bad. But yet we have these people who are on the surface what people think are great people because they have money, they have status, they have the perfect little family. But no, they don't know what's going on behind closed doors. They have the money to hide things, to pay off people. I'd rather have somebody up there who's experienced things and own it and tell the truth. But that's not how our society's built. It's built on lies. It's built on deception. Satan is running this world. It's everywhere. But there's good here too. And those people need to be propped up and supported instead of shot down. We're losing. We're losing. And I'm tired of losing. I'm sure a lot of you are tired too. I'm trying to hang on to hope. I'm trying to hang on to some semblance of being able to commune with society of some kind. But, I isolate myself a lot of times because it's just safer that way. Because odds are, I'm not going to be running into a good person. And it's sad. It's really sad. Hell, they're even in the churches. You can't, the best place to find, a partner is in the church. Not in 2018. There's no guarantee there. I don't think I'm not in a relationship. I am. I've been in a long relationship. But I'm just talking to those of you who are looking for a partner of some kind. I'm just sharing my thoughts because I gotta share them somewhere. I want this recorded. I want this out there. I want to be heard. What is it? The greatest? To be great is to be misunderstood. Was that Emerson? There's a lot of great people who are misunderstood. And sometimes we find out too late how great they were. Or sometimes we never know at all. Because of appearances or lack of money or whatever it may be. I try to judge others by their character, like Martin Luther King said. In that he was very much right. But unfortunately, this world is not working that way. It's not working that way at all. And the great ones get taken away. And the ones who are in charge are questionable. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. And quit listening to the narrative that's being fed to you. And see people for who they are. See it. Know it. Feel it. Give those credit who deserve the credit for the good things that they do. And I'm talking about the essentials in life. The love, the shelter, the food, the water, the helping others. I'm not talking about handing out 20 cars to people or a whole audience. Who cares? I mean, I can't even talk to people anymore. They want to, hey, did you see, this television program? And, oh, I can't believe you don't watch that. And, I mean, that's their conversation. Or where they got their nails done. I mean, I'm a female. Or, how much better their kids are than your kids. Or whatever. I mean, does anybody have any real conversations anymore? Any real in-depth conversations anymore? It's like I'm starving for some sort of intellectual conversation, some decency. And then there are those who just want life to be simple. You're making things too complicated. You think too deeply. It just is what it is. What? It is what it is. Have you looked around to see what it is? But they want to stay in their bubbles. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the bubble. But mine popped a long time ago. And then it ran away and dried up when I got older. It's hard. It's hard to see things for what they really are. It's hard to know things. It's hard being smart. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world, but it's hard to be of a higher IQ. It really is. If you and have some common sense too. I'm not talking about those who go hide in a cubicle somewhere. and can't even communicate with others. It's not what I'm talking about. This world has really been dumbed down with the help of technology, and I'm guilty too. I try to use mine to find out things and know things, but sometimes it just gets overwhelming. It really does. The truth, or bits and pieces of the truth, gets a little overwhelming when everybody around you is just dumb and blind. I worry. I worry for my children. I really don't try and talk to them about too much of this because I don't want them sitting where I am. I don't want them sitting here alone in their thoughts, wondering how it is that they can approach life to make a difference somehow. I want to protect them. I want them to be ignorant in a sense of some things. Because really, what can we do? Be ready? I guess we'll just have to be ready for whatever it is that's to come. But it's progressively getting worse. Really. I mean, even if it just stayed like it is, it's just bad enough. For another few decades, that would be bad enough. I mean, can we reverse somehow and go backwards and find out get back to what's really important? Did they know back then better than we know now? Those are the kind of things that run through my head. I mean, is there an answer? I mean, I didn't live back then. Again, I don't claim to know everything by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that my brain runs at 100 miles an hour, and sometimes I wish I could get it to stop. Just stop. Ignorance is bliss. But I don't want to be too Debbie Downer here, wherever that term came from, but I just wanted to share my thoughts. And I want to reach out to those of you who are like me in a lot of ways. And you have a place where you can comment. You have somebody you can listen to. I do look at, my messages. I don't have many subscribers, so if you're interested, please subscribe. And ask me questions. I'm willing to do the research if I don't know. I'm willing to have a discussion. I'm always willing to learn. And with learning comes change, and hopefully change for the better for all of us. But we have to start communicating. We have to start reaching out to each other. And I'm not talking about the Looney Tunes out there with some, underlying evil. I mean the good people, because we do exist. We're just kind of hidden. The ones who've been there, been in the dirt, been kicked when they're down. The ones who've done things that they're not proud of. Who've had life experiences that have just devastated them. Turned things on a dime and survived. The ones who would never make it in politics, but have a lot to say. Because they know They really know what's important, and they learned the hard way. And when they got back up, they still believed in God. They still believed. Matter of fact, they believed even more. Instead of turning away. Those are the ones. Those are the teachers. Those are the good people. Those are the future. But nobody wants to acknowledge them. Nobody wants to say, hey, you have a lot to say. You have a lot to teach. You've learned a lot. Not just in books, in life. Instead, they want to watch TV and listen to news reports and like it's gospel. Can you imagine if people actually listened to people who had stuff to say from life experiences with morals and values and not hiding behind God, but really believing in God and His Son, Jesus? Can you imagine what the world actually could be? It's time for us to stand up and communicate with each other and come out of hiding and be proud of who we are. I know the world has beaten us down. We've been beaten down so much that we just want to give up. But we can't. We can't give up. We have to hang on. Otherwise, what's left? Nothing. Nothing with any kind of meaning. Have a good night. And maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow. Lady Court signing off.